Hi, welcome to Monday Morning Live. Today we'll talk about self-care. How do we care for ourselves? Do you care for yourself? Do you know how to care for yourself? Do you allow yourself to take care of yourself? These are the topics of this week. It's part of the journey of exploring this being human and how we can make this a better experience than what a lot of us actually have now and through our lives. I used to live in a state of feeling that life was horrible. I used to hate life. I used to feel it was hard, and still, yes, there are periods where I still go, oh my God, this is so hard. But the baseline was that life was hard and painful and that I did not enjoy it. And this has shifted for me. And so this is why I share all these topics and thoughts and ideas and experiences based on my own journey and based on the work I do as a healer and a reader, intuitive reader, with other clients, with other people. And the meditations that I conduct and guide for people. I'm Emma Rowena. As I said, I'm a healer and a reader, but I'm also a musician. That's actually my profession. I play the piano, so I've created some music of my own. But then also, on the journey, I discovered this ability to see. And to see the energies, see other people's struggles, the blocks, and to experience how this can be shifted. So, hello Katrin, hello, good to see you. I am going to talk today about how you can explore your way of caring for yourself. Or rather, explore what it is that maybe stops you from doing so sometimes, or maybe all the time. A lot of us are stuck in this self-sabotage. I used to do that all the time, and I still have moments where I do it without realizing it. This old pattern that pops up sometimes when things are a bit overwhelming and when I haven't had the time to tune in and connect and really connect to my own worth. I did think about something this morning as I was sort of preparing for this, because I talk about self-care, getting closer to yourself, and does it get very selfish? Well, I don't think it does, but how do I address this? It might sound very self-centered, and yes, it is self-centered, because I always talk about centering yourself, so in that sense it's self-centered. But I also know that once you do this work, or this journey, or this, what shall I say, rising to connecting and basing yourself on your truth and your foundation, then you become much less self-centered, self-concerned, because you become aligned with yourself, stronger, and more able to share and to be there for others. And this is where self-care comes in so powerfully and beautifully. Because when you care for yourself, you give yourself love. And when you give yourself love, you give yourself energy. When you give yourself energy, you fill the cup up and you can start pouring out. But you have to always keep filling that cup up. And this has been talked about by a lot of people. This is nothing new, nothing revolutionary from my part, of course. Let me put my tea down here. But what I can share is my perspective on why we do not manage to take care of ourselves. Why do we always pour out until we're empty? Or not always, and not everybody does this, but if you're here, maybe you can recognize this. I certainly do still. I overextend myself sometimes. And I talked about this in the Identity Week a few weeks back, where the woman who overextends herself and pushes her limits, and I wanted to step into the identity of the one who can relax. So that was a beautiful shift of how to embrace from a perspective of stepping into the kind of identity you want to hold, to help you in actually embracing that kind of identity, which in this case, in my case, invited a self-care. Because when I'm the kind of woman who can actually chill and relax, I take care of myself. Because, and I have to sort of specify that I take on the identity that I want to have because it feels good for me. Because we want to feel good, right? We're here to feel good. We're here to have a great life. Yes, it can be hard, but our experience can be lifted at any moment, and our movement can be an elevation at any time of our life. So there's always an opportunity to find a way to feel good. And I claim that this is for everyone, everywhere, no matter what. We've had people who have been in positions of being imprisoned, of being treated badly, or being in war, and they managed to rise from that. It is possible for everybody, if we manage to connect to our own worth, or if we manage to deal with our demons, or to look at our own self-sabotage. So my question to you this Monday, my challenge would be, where do you stop yourself from holding yourself, from giving yourself that embrace, from tuning in and listening to what it is that makes you feel good and how you can achieve or get to that place. For instance, as I said, for me, when I have this old pattern of pushing, and ending up in sort of a martyr, the victim, the martyr, who sort of offers everything for everybody else, and I get annoyed, frustrated, stressed, lash out at people when this happens, and it doesn't serve me, it doesn't serve anybody else. And I know this here. And we've been told this, you have to look after yourself. We hear it all over the place. It's become almost a mantra for the whole world, for the whole Western world at least. Take care of yourself. Fill your own cup before you can pour out. Put your own oxygen mask on before you put it on somebody else that needs help. If you're used to flying, that's what they say. And the thing is that we do this. We keep coming back to this pattern of pushing ourselves aside. Now, we can do a lot of soul searching. We can do a lot of history search. We can go dig into the past, in my perspective, past lives even. We can blame our parents, we can blame our surroundings, because it comes from our surroundings, obviously, because when we are born, we're here to learn. We're open, we're free, we're pure love. And then we start to try to maneuver in this crazy world and this crazy thing called being human, where we have to follow some strange rules that we don't understand, and there's all kinds of systems and weird messages being sent both verbally and non-verbally, and love, not love, punishment, all kinds of stuff going on. And we all have it, because none of us have reached 100% enlightenment as a parent. And even the Dalai Lama, somebody referenced the other day, takes 10 minutes every day to worry. So he doesn't always feel safe either. And he meditates for 4 o'clock every morning for hours on compassion and on centering himself. So I mean, parents, we do make mistakes, and we grow up with parents who make mistakes. We also grow up with a society who have ideas of how you're supposed to act and be, and working hard has been a very sort of working hard and pushing yourself aside has been going on for centuries, or at least for generations. And religion puts all kinds of rules and restrictions on us. And I'm not discussing with the religious beliefs, but I'm discussing how we can make sure that we do not sabotage ourselves because of influences like that. Or at least discover how we do sabotage ourselves so that we can start to address it and start to choose the opposite. But we can always do this. We can always practice this, and we can do all kinds of exercises, and we can make sure we can make lists of, today I'm going to do something good for myself, which is beautiful. And it's a good thing to do, and I'll talk more about that on Wednesday. But if you do not honor yourself, if you do not like yourself, even as I used to not do, if you have this idea because you've been taught or told that you're not good enough, that you need to hold back your expression, your passion, any kinds of programming that you've been told, if you let that come in the way of your own worth, of your own knowing through and through that you are enough, then we can keep trying to be kind to ourselves, but we're probably gonna manage for a while and then go back to the self-sabotage. So to me, the way I see it, when I work with clients, when I work with myself, coming into the center of, focusing on the center of somebody's self-love, of worth, of beauty, inner and outer, radiating out this beauty, that will enhance your natural inclination to make sure that you feel good, hence take care of yourself. It's actually really simple, but it's so hard sometimes. So, and I keep saying this, we've got to do the work, and the work can feel hard, it can feel frightening because we go against everything we've learned. It's what we know, it's what feels comfortable because it's known. Not necessarily comfortable because it serves us, but because it's known. If you're used to being in a family where all the signs and signals and teachings and the way of loving each other is very unstable, and you never know what the right thing is. Maybe your parents have some trauma that they haven't dealt with, and everything feels very unclear, then it might feel really, really scary to go and look into that and try to navigate and find who you are, because you're a confused human being, but you, in essence, know who you are, and you are worthy, and you are worthy of feeling good. And I don't mean the fleeting feeling good that you do when you sort of drink a lot of wine, although I do acknowledge that having a great time with friends and having a few glasses of wine is beautiful. It might cause some pain the day after, but I'm talking about the genuine feeling good through and through, and knowing and taking action naturally towards adding things in your life that confirms this state of feeling good. Just as you are now, if you're not doing this already, if you are in a state of or a place where self-sabotage is more prominent in your life, then you also have an inclination to invite in those things that will confirm it, because it's known to you. No matter how confused you might feel about who you are, what the truth is, or maybe you're in a relationship where messages are confused and you don't know what's what, and we're blaming each other or whatever, then it's really hard to and I'm getting confused as I say this because I'm losing my thread. This is very interesting. The energy of confusion actually puts me off, and I'm actually very good at keeping on track here, usually. And this, by the way, this is a good observation. I'm just showing you an example now of when something happens. If you start observing what's going on, you can actually find the answer rather than just getting frustrated. If you start sort of being curious, why am I forgetting my track here? So when we, I'll try and get into wherever I was. When we start, yes, that's it, acting on the confusion, we bring on more confusion. When we start acting, when we think that that's our life, that's what we know, the confused communication, then we will invite that in our relationships because it's what we know. It's the wavelength, if you like, or it's the vibration, the mechanism, the movement, the emotion. Our body knows the emotion that comes with confusion, or comes with feeling not loved, or comes with feeling or blame, or whatever. Chemicals get released in our body, and our body gets used to it, gets almost addicted to some of these emotions. So fear has adrenaline, and our body gets addicted to the adrenaline, for instance. That's another story. But this is just to show that when you keep this baseline of confusion or fear or not being worthy, then that's what you will pull into your life. It might be related in some way to the law of attraction that a lot of people talk about, because you sort of send out wavelength, yes, but you also choose that which resonates with who you think you need to be and the worth that you think you have. But you are worthy. And I'm here to tell you all this week, you are worthy. You are enough. As Marissa Peers, I think her name is, a beautiful, cool, really cool therapist. She has these big talks about you are enough. You should look them up on YouTube. She's great. This one sentence, once you start adopting that and really feeling it, and I'll repeat one of her exercises on Wednesday, so you can use that. But I want you now to explore that what it is in you that sabotages you from feeling that you are enough, or stops you from actually choosing to take care of yourself and choosing those things that make you feel good. So explore in the next couple of days. Explore, where do you not, when you're feeling tired, or when you feel the need of relaxing, when you feel the need of something nice to eat, a flavor, or a treat for yourself, or are you feeling drained or exhausted, do you actually follow up on that, or don't you? And why not? And you may not even know why not, and we don't necessarily need to go there, but if you do, that's a beautiful extra information for you. But I invite you to explore and find out. That's a way of getting closer to yourself. Listen, tune in, find out, where is it that you stop yourself from caring for yourself? What are your thoughts about yourself? What do you say to yourself? For me, when I get into this state of overdoing and pushing myself too far and too hard, so I get exhausted, I tend to go, well, I just have to. And why do I have to? If I stop and explore, why do I feel I have to? Well, I have to prove something, maybe. Or I feel that I'm the only one who can do it because I've been told that I have to be clever and look after people, maybe. There are all kinds of little things that can be there. It can be interesting to look at. You don't have to know it all in order to manage to take care of yourself. But it is a beautiful way of connecting to who you are. And the more you connect to who you are and your mechanisms without judgment, please try and avoid judging yourself for doing so. Just try and observe, maybe at a distance even. Step out a little bit of yourself. When you start doing that, you start acknowledging yourself, your story, your way of trying to make sense of being a human being on this crazy but beautiful planet, with all these crazy but beautiful people. Seriously, there are so many beautiful souls, but we do all sort of crazy stuff, and it confuses everybody. And the only thing we can do is trying to find out, discover our own confusion and break through our own confusion. So that would be my first invitation to self-care, is to try and listen to where you sabotage yourself. Where do you push yourself too far? Where do you neglect your own needs? Where do you, your self-talk, where does that lower you or push you down? Because when you do that, you will not think that you're worthy of feeling good, will you? But when you shift that to thinking, wow, I'm actually quite a valuable, cool, beautiful person. I think I deserve a rest today. Wouldn't that be cool? I've tried it. It's really cool. It feels really good. So yes, that was my invitation today. We'll do a little 3-breath meditation. And on Wednesday, I'll get more into in depth into what you can do. And there are all kinds of stories and tips and things out there that you can take as well on how you can practice self-care. But I'll get more into the ones that I can offer this week from where I am now. And for now, I thank whoever's here for joining and whoever's watching later for watching it. And remember, you're a beautiful being. You are worthy. You are enough. Just figure out what it is that stops you from acknowledging that as much as you can. And if you're interested in more work, more exercises, we'll see you on Wednesday. And on Friday, a deep meditation to connect to this. And now, before I finish, 3 deep breaths of bringing yourself into your center and grounding yourself. You can do it with your eyes open or your eyes closed. It's up to you. It's easy. You can do it anywhere. I did it in the rain with the umbrella waiting for the ferry live actually the other day, and it's easy. So, okay? It's an act of self-care. 3 deep breaths for yourself. So what we do, because we tend to scatter our energy and our focus all around the place, we send our thoughts to other people, we expand our energies to the past, to the future, to different places, to must-do's. And what we're going to do in these 3 breaths is bring all this energy, all this attention into your center. So take a deep breath in. As you inhale, imagine that like a vacuum cleaner, you're pulling in all this energy into the center of your being, to your core. It could be your heart or your spine, your tummy. And as you breathe out, feel that you can let all this energy just anchor down into your hip area. And breathe in, suck in more of that beautiful energy of yours from wherever it is. You don't need to know where. Breathe it into the core, and as you breathe out, feel it anchoring in your hip area. And one last deep breath. Breathe in whatever is left out there of yours, and feel that you're really pulling it in and really centering it into your whole being, so that you are completely you in your essence, in your center. And as you breathe out, bring it down into your hip area, to your root, and imagine that from this root you can send energy or cords or roots down through your legs all the way down to the ground, into the earth, way down into the earth. So you're grounded and founded. You're foundational, ready to move forward in this, in Norway at least, cold, windy winter day without snow, but cold, but with strength, confidence, and knowing that you are beautiful. Have a beautiful day.